everyone, it's Kelly with kellyscards.ca and welcome to this fifth and final card in my everyday card kit number 12. I really love the colors in the card. They are so bright and so cheerful. I have stamped us this hello on this side here, but if you don't like the hello, you can actually just put the flower here and then kind of rearrange this to be over here. So to get started, we are going to build on this mat here, and I have provided us this really pretty ribbon here, and I'm just going to take it to the back and put a piece of Scotch tape over the ends to adhere it down. Again, I find this adheres it down better than, say, an adhesive that might unglue or unstick, where the tape is going to stay pretty much permanent. So really like how that gets on there. And now I can put this piece down onto this card base. And I really like the colors in this card. These pinks, orange, and the lime color, actually they look amazing together. A very bright and happy card. Now we can take these backings off and get this put on, and you're going to see how nice this looks on the back of this particular colored card mat here. And I'm just going to make sure my ribbon is on this side here. And that looks pretty perfect on there for getting it nice and centered. I'll just go over where that ribbon is underneath. And now we will put a couple of these layers together. First, let's put our image up, and that way it won't be in two separate pieces. It will just be one piece to move around. Really like this image of this flower. This card would be good for really any occasion, a thinking of you or a get well or even just a hello or a birthday, any reason this type of card would be perfect for. So I'm going to put down this onto this other mat, and these colors just are amazing together. They're all kind of neon-y, and they tend to look really good together. So once I've got that on there, this piece is going to come on top of here, and then this is going to come up top of here, and we will finish embellishing the card. So to get this piece done, I'm actually going to use a little bit stronger adhesive here because there's more than one layer. And I'll just put this up on with the Be Creative or score tape here. And now we'll get this put down. If you wanted, you could put another sentiment down here, or you could add it to the edge here. So feel free to move things around. And I'm going to have this a little bit more closer to the top than the bottom, and I'm going to use the stripes to help line up this so it's nice and straight. And that looks good there. And again, I'll just bring in my bone folder to just make sure that this is good and adhered there. Now I'm going to keep my hello sentiment, and I'm going to have my image come in over top of this little flourish that we have here, and then my flower is going to come down here. And I want to make sure that I get some of this green sticking out so that we see some green. And once we put this flower, it will just balance really nice. So the first thing we have to do is put this piece down here. I'm going to bring in my scrap of paper now, and just remember when you put this down that some of it is going to be under the image. You do not have to put the adhesive down here because this is going to cover it. So we mostly want to adhere just the top portions of this flourish. Really like this flourish die. It is really beautiful. It looks a little flowery, but you still have that flourish type look to it. And I'm just going to dab again because I have this spare piece of paper down here. It just makes it a little bit easier to dab a little bit more crazy and don't really have to think about where we're putting it, that we don't get our background area messed up. You don't want this to lay over the card base. You want to make sure it's within the card. So once I put this down, I'll just make sure that that looks good, and that looks good. And I'm just going to press again. When I use the wet glue, I just want to press it so that I make sure all of those little tiny spots actually get down. If one of them gets up and it gets pulled, it's at risk for ripping off, which would not be good. So now we've got that on there, and now we can put this piece. And again, I want the green over here so that I can also see the green on this, and we just don't see the pinky color instead. Again, I'm going to make sure the green is over here so that I will see a little bit of green, and that will just help pull with the green and then the orange and the pink and then the green again. And I want to make sure that my flower will have good placing and I see the hello. So that looks really good there. And before I go any further, I have to use this Wink of Stella on these flowers. I think this little bit of shimmer will look amazing on this card. So I'm just going to go over the little bits of the flower here. I'm not going to do the petals, the leaves rather. I'm just going to do the petals. Just add a little bit of something to the card. I love these little extras. A lot of times you make a beautiful card and then you do something like this and it just takes a card from wow to amazing, and really like how that's going to look. Now I can bring in my flower here, and I'm just going to use my hot glue gun to adhere this down. Now that I've got that on there, and I'm just going to put this down. And I want it close to the edge but not over, just like the flourish. We want it close but not over. And you can kind of just move it around to see where you like it. I want to see a lot of the flower, so I might just pull it down a little bit, but of course we still want it kind of close to this circle. So that is good placement right there. And look at how spectacular this card looks. I love these colors together. I've used other papers and of course this image and the flower to kind of piece together so everything matches. Again, my backing color of this flourish as well as the card base all matches the colors from this paper. So the last thing to do now is to finish off the inside of the card. And we'll get this put in, and then this card will be finished. And I love this card. I really like bright colors. I'm not as much a fan of the muted and kind of pastel-y colors. I like the brightness, especially if you want to send a card of thinking of you, or you want someone to cheer up, or you want to give them some good feelings. A card like this is like, wow, this is a really nice and bright color. And as you can see, we've got the hello there in black, and we've got this little center for this card in black. And now just to finish off the outside, I've decided to put 3 black bling here because I find that will help balance the black on the card. So you'll find these 3 cute little bling, and we're going to put it right here on this pink part because I think up here it would be too far away. And this just helps to basically make sure that this all balances. But when I went to stamp this, I wasn't sure what I was going to stamp it, and I'm like, I want to stamp this in black, but because we've got so many other colors, how's that going to work? But by adding the little elements, it just kind of pulls it together so it looks like it was meant to be there. And that is the way I like to add black into some of these cards where you've got more colors. It just helps it to pop out and to add balance. So I hope you loved this card. I really enjoyed this card. Again, love these colors, love some of the elements in this card, and feel free to remember that you can always stamp on the outside of your card like this on a piece, and let's say you don't like the sentiment, you can just cover up with another one. So the options are endless with cards like this. So thank you for joining me for this Everyday Card Kit number 12. I will be filming another card kit sometime soon. You can check me out on my website at kellyscards.ca, and be sure to check out my main cards channel where I've got hauls and tutorials and so many mega cards. Many videos are over there. The link will be down below. And as always, I hope everyone has a wonderful day.